is we are on day 2 of sharing Mayan Dolphin Magic Retreat stories. So the fun part is that I get to go back and start to review this and look at it, and we're downloading pictures and videos. And then today I talked to one lady that was there, and it's so profound. I'm still processing. We're all still processing. And yet there's this flow. We're coming back into flow into our ordinary world. So when you leave on the hero's journey, there's the call to adventure. Your soul calls you to something, your heart calls you to something. You meet a magical mentor, they give you great advice, they tell you a few secrets, you get some guidance, you move along the path, and you have to decipher the messages that are coming to you. So always in the stories, there's some kind of messenger, right? There's some kind of, if it's a really magical story, no data. Why are we having no data? Okay. Now it says excellent connection. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. Let me check with my team here. Can you hear me now? Sounds good. Okay, great. So I'm going to give you a moment to tune into this while I go get the internet cord and make sure we won't lose connection. I'm going to have to stand up to do that. Also, I have a new microphone, so hopefully this is working well for you. My team says it is. Enter this sacred space in reverence, presence, and love, calling on all the spirits from the earth and the crystals to the dolphins and jaguars. All right. So that should give us a nice clear connection. And we have our beautiful start here. Don't go too far. I know that when I went away, you wouldn't hear me. I wasn't talking. I left you to listen to the crystal bowl so I could connect us to the internet, and now we won't have any more interruptions. This microphone is good, I'm pretty sure. And so what I always do in my life, I'm calling now sacred. It's not boring. If sacred sounds boring to you, it brings richness into my life. It brings richness and depth to every moment. It takes a fear and turns it into a doorway. It takes an experience, whether it's a challenge or a joy, and expands it into a soul connecting or a healing that goes through time and space. So I'm very aware that everything's alive. And when you enter space with me here or at the actual retreat, and I hope you'll come in December, that we have always created the sacred space, the temple, the light temple, the land, all the elementals, and we're also open to the magical messengers. So in my recent series and in my upcoming summer camp, and yes, I am about to send out the new dates. There's just a small shift, and the price is lower, and the classes are shorter, and there's different things that the Dolphins or the experience that I just came back from asked for me to do. So we're going to be in the flow, and sometimes in business, it's a strange way to be. And yet what I teach you is to listen to your intuition. What is your intuition? Well, it's a lot of parts of you that have senses, sensors, and receptors. All right, so enter this sacred temple in reverence, presence, and love. Take a deep breath in your nose. Feel it wash your forehead, bathe your brain, feed your third eye, And then let it go softly. Thank you, thank you. I'm present here today because Mother Earth has called us. And she is our sister, she is our mother, she is us. She's a living, breathing being. And Gaia is technically the term for the primordial mother, the big mother, the overriding force of divine sacred feminine. This isn't the sacred feminine that needs to be balanced with the masculine. This is the sacred feminine that is complete. And our earth and our bodies made from the earth is something that we begin to feel in a different way. I love my body probably more than ever before. When I was younger, I was an athlete. I was all Europe in basketball, and then I got very overweight, and I had a big, long, dramatic section of my life full of all this drama. And now I appreciate my body for different reasons. I appreciate my body because I get to be here to taste this cacao, to touch my beloved, to hug you if you come, to see the transformation that happens when you're willing to stand in your heart and actually listen to your own inner voice. It's not easy. Nobody likes it when you do. And it's a lonely journey, except when you allow yourself to realize there's support. Sometimes the support of a group, like in the Intuition Awakening classes, is priceless. And sometimes finding your meadow to sit in and sit with yourself and all the elementals in that meadow is what you need. The medicine is here. And so today, what came to me, and we always want to be present in the moment to see what comes through, is to share with you more about our opening day cacao ceremony, spa. So it's a traditional ceremony that's, the cacao is prepared in a traditional way. Our beautiful cacao goddess, I call her, is a ceremonial woman. She has a phenomenal voice. She's a professional chef, and she makes this incredible cacao in the ancient way. She has her grandmother's, and I forgot the name of it, the wood, the stone thing, and she grinds the roasted cacao, which she has roasted herself. And all of the things that she gives us throughout the ceremony is this sacred way that she is. She blesses and talks to everything. She's the one that taught me Wayanin, Mother, I am here. It's my favorite way of talking to the land, talking to the spirits, and connecting, whether I'm there or not. I'll be connecting to the land there if we're going to be there next week. I'm connected to the land right here when I walk outside in the morning. I'm heart weaving with the sun, the moon, the earth, the water, the meteor, the flamingos, whatever it is. So Wayanin, we brought an offering, and we brought it was a stone, I think, a beautiful stone offering that we put all of our energies into. And what I'm going to ask the people coming in December to do is the next level. So we might do similar things, but the time is different. The energy is different. The people are different. The moment is different. We are aligned to what's optimal in the moment, in the cocoon of this transformative experience. It's not a workshop. It's not a class. It's not a conference. It's a retreat. It means that you retreat, you retire from your ordinary world and you come in. And the reason that we do this the first day is because of the profound transformation that you are about to undergo needs to be prepared. You need to be nourished. You need to be loved. You need to be seen. You need to be heard. You need to be cleansed and cleared and healed. And we do all that the first morning. And then after a beautiful, exquisite, divine, delicious lunch that feeds your senses and your heart, we move on to the sacred jungle and this private cenote that is called the Guadalupe cenote, which is Mother Mary, essentially energy. And essentially, it's not religious, it's about Mother Earth. Now, all caves are going into Mother Earth. All caves have that representative of our sacral or of the cave or the womb, and they all have different personalities. And what happens in cenotes is that they have water, and this fresh water has filtered through the limestone, and this whole peninsula was hit by this meteor that killed the dinosaurs right out here in front of me, down the way, right there. And it went so deep and it melted some of the elements of earth that were so deep normally we would never interact with them, and the bubbles came up and it formed these incredible water caves. There's hundreds of miles of underground fresh water rivers on this continent, and I live near them. They're all over. They didn't used to talk about them. Nobody really paid attention to them. They were sacred to the ancient Maya, and the word cenote, which is zenote, zenote, I don't say Mayan, I don't speak Mayan very well, means sacred well. So the water is pure. You can 100% drink it. The water is so pure that when you go in, you come out and you feel like you've been to a spa, even if you haven't done our divine cacao spa. So this is called a spa, and it's called, it's very different. If you've been to a cacao ceremony, I guarantee you it's nothing like what I bring you to, for a couple of reasons. We go to a sacred place. I've been there. The land speaks to me. We only go if we're going in a sacred way. So we brought a stone, we went to a particular cenote, Michelle was with us, and we all put our energies, and then we spoke to Mother Earth. So when we go into the cave, we're going into Mother Earth. When we go into the cave, we're going into Xibalba. Xibalba in Maya is the underworld. Now, if you understand, the underworld isn't bad. This is not hell. The underworld is the yin. It is the inner womb. It is the negative to the positive of elements and their interactions, all right? This is the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine, the sun, the moon. You need these two parts, and we have to go within to heal ourselves. So we go into the womb of the mother and we go into the underworld because we are here to go through a cocoon. What does that mean? That's a metamorphosis. The metamorphosis happens for everybody differently, but I design the pathway so that we do things in a sacred way. We do them in a sacred order. The energy builds on itself. And one lady last time said, wow, I can't believe it's over. It felt like it started so slow and then it picked up pace and bam, all of a sudden, here we are at the last dinner. And it's these combinations of bringing you into bliss with the dolphins over and over 3 different days, of going to sacred pyramids, talking, going to vortexes with trees and Alush, the nature spirits, working with the waters in all of these aspects, rain, ocean, clear water, cenotes, just on and on. And so all of these come to us because we have asked the land to support us. And when you go into Xibalba, which means when you go into your inner world, when you go down in your sacral, where you carry all your secrets and your fears and your pains that you've learned to live with and drag around, that you no longer need or want and does not support your highest good or what is optimal for you at this time, I'm sorry, it's true, right? You have a chance to heal. So we fill you with love from within and around and hug you and hold you and gift you and pamper you, and herbs and waters and teas and cacao in I don't know how many forms, and beautiful organic honey and this music, this pre-Hispanic music and all these things, these all help the sound or the frequency. They help us tune into the ancients in the land and to the elements of the water and the cave and the earth. And we want to go in acknowledged, recognized, protected. We want to go in with our hearts open, ready to heal, and yet know that we're going to be received into the arms of the beloved. So this is what the retreat begins with. This is the design. Now, I had the blessing to talk to one lady today, and she said, You know, it was almost like it was designed, because this built on that, and then that led to this. And when I had that awakening, I was ready for this, but I couldn't have had that earlier in the week. And they said, exactly, exactly. I even shift the dolphins, the day or the time of day, morning or afternoon, for each group to find the flow of that energy and that optimal. So in March, it was weird, but the dolphin place suddenly told me the last day we were going, we had to go in the afternoon. And I usually go in the morning, then we have lunch, then I do my final healing, I do my final thing, which this time included me channeling very interesting messages for each person, very, very specific. And then we go to dinner. Well, they flipped it around. So I did my final thing in the morning, and my logical brain says, well, I'll get this one. However, what happens is that it turned out perfect, of course, because when we went there, they started to tell me, look at, now you're ready for us to do our final recalibration with you, because you finished and completed your part, and we needed you to do that for everyone. And now everybody is in a certain frequency, certain vibration. Every day you're loved, you're melted, you're shifted, you're held, you awaken, you have visions, all of your senses come alive, and all inside of beauty, paradise, and love. So the first day is to concentrate that love. And I love Michelle because she is the embodiment of the goddess. She is just there. She is so passionate about what she does, and she puts love and spirit and divinity. She understands the cacao spirit. She understands the sacredness of what we're doing. And this is roasted cacao. This is not raw cacao. We don't do raw cacao ceremonies. There's no hallucinogenic qualities here. It warms your heart, it opens your heart, it feeds your body. And I've had visions of my daughter who died, who came in the first time I did a ceremony. So with all the other things we do, it's one way of nurturing you, of opening your heart. And if you have visions, it's not because we've given you anything hallucinogenic, okay? Then we're in the cave, we're in the music, we're bathing ourselves, the herbs and the smells and the sounds, and she's grinding the cacao right there. And there's just this sensory experience while you're held in the womb. And we're right next to the water, which is a circle, small cave. It is exactly like a womb, has the sun comes down the center, stalactites or mites all around the edges where you can go in and you can be inside of them looking out into the center. And some of them are hollow, you can play them. And there's just this whole incredible rebirthing experience, purifying experience. We've had, every group has had, that has been there. I haven't been able to take every group there. I didn't know about it at first. And it is a private place. So it depends on the access and all of these different things. Once it flooded because there was too much rain. It just filled up. We couldn't go in. And this time we had bats. So among the many, many, many messengers we had, the bats are always in a cenote, but usually they're quietly, maybe cheeping, beep, beep, beep. They're just hanging there. These are not bats that are going to hurt you. There's nothing to worry about. And we know they're messengers. Well, this time they're flying and they're weaving, and there's a lot of them, and they're weaving. And pretty soon I realized they were doing energy work with us. They're weaving. And the lady I spoke to today said, well, I have to tell you something. She said, I love all creatures. And she's the sign and symbol lady. She sees the synchronicities in everything. And she loves all the animal messengers. And she has all the books about what they mean. And she said, out of the whole entire world, I don't mind the snake. I don't mind the spider, but I don't like bats. So when we entered, she said, two things happened coming into the cave, and it's not a scary cave at all. It's just very open, and there's light coming in, and it's beautiful. And she said, I paused because I really didn't expect it to be quite like that. And then I realized, oh, here's your opportunity. You stepped onto the path. You're walking the path. You have to live and walk your talk. And she went into the after we finished the spa and everything, as you were ready with your cacao that you put everywhere and cleaned off, we enter it in our own way and purify in it, float, tone, do what you want. sometimes we get together as a group. But she said, I couldn't believe the bats. And she said, I had to stop and I had to say, I know how to manage my emotion. And I can see them as God's creatures, just like everyone else that I see. And as soon as I did that, I felt the love fled my heart and I floated on my back. And I remember her just floating. And she said, and I had my eyes open and I watched them. And they were around and weaving over us. And it was quite amazing because normally they don't really fly around when we're in there. So I told her, well, that was very unusual. And she's the one whose husband died not quite 6 months ago, and has wanted to come, but is grieving, of course, and processing this incredibly intense and deep experience. So as I've been helping her, her husband's been coming through me, talking to her, very interesting. And he came several times. She told me today it was perfect. It was optimal and on top of optimal. She's one of my students. And she said, I'm so glad. And she's a completely different person. She started crying at one point, talking about coming home because her husband had given me a message and told her he was holding her hand. And when she got home, she was to walk into the yard and all these instructions. And she went and did it and knew exactly what the message was. And it was really quite amazing. And then she told me about the fact that she went to the beach the last day. We left and a couple people stayed another day. And they went out to the beach and they were swimming in the ocean and they saw a security guard standing by the chair. And they were like, oh, that's nice. And then they looked up 10 minutes later and the security guard was still standing by the chair, and 15 minutes later, and they kept looking. Well, her husband was embodying this security guard all the way to his eyes being the exact strange color eyes, to him laughing when she said he knew that she was from Canada. And she's like, how do you know? And he laughed, how do I know? And he used to watch over her, protect her, especially when she was in the ocean. She was always, he would not take his eye off of her. So on top of a lot of other messages and things that she got, she arrived home and she said, my fear of moving forward in my new life and leaving behind what I had with him and he told us clearly, we still have a life together. It's just we're together in a different way. Our roles have shifted. He's out of the body and she's in the body. But he never really got into the spiritual stuff, but he loved that she did it. And he came on our one retreat. And she said she was afraid of leaving that behind, as we could all understand. And she said, now I know that he's leading the way, that I need to get better at my intuition. I need to get better at reading the signs and the messages. And she's pretty dang good. Okay. She said, I need to take it to that next level to keep up with him, to hear what he's feeding me. I know now I'm protected. I know I'm loved. I know I'm surrounded with love. These are just some of the little things that happen. And the bats gave her this confidence now that she can shift her energy. And then we looked it up, and I think I have it here. So let me share with you. Hi, Jenny Beef. Oh my goodness. Let's take a look. Oh, I have a couple of videos I want to share with you. So, yay! I'm so excited. Okay, so this is day 2 of Dolphin Mayan Magic Retreat stories. And hello, beautiful baby. And today this is for today. This is Michelle. This is in our cave I just described to you. And this is her grandmother's stone. She's crushing the cacao for, we use the cacao in many, many different ways. You're just going to have to come. We drink it, we eat it, we rub it all over. And it's just an incredible, incredible experience. So now, okay, I don't know what all this is. Oh, I know, I'm in the wrong place. Excuse me, I need to go forward here. So I shared this with you yesterday. I highly recommend you watch yesterday. We had an incredible time. And so many people were texting me. People who already signed up are texting, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're going to eat by the dolphins, because this is the Dolphins here, where we I don't know, 3 minutes walk from where we're staying. And the restaurants are all around there. The Dolphins are right here. We go out during the moons. And this was our sunrise from our balcony. This was the moon. This is our balcony. So this is where we're staying. And of course, this is central. the central station. And then, so I'm going to share more about some of the dolphin things we did. The divination was amazing. The double hugs was beyond this world. Third eye activations, heart, everything. You just cannot believe the healing, the joy, the bliss. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. So this is in our cave. You can see up to the top left or right, sorry, that you see the light coming in. That's the doorway. So it's not a scary cave at all. And as we enter, we've already been cleansed, cleared. There's fire, music, tea, things happening up above on the land when we first enter. And again, the sacredness, the beauty, the touching the walls of the earth, feeling the nature spirits here. We sit on the earth. We go in the waters, the stalactites, the ancientness of this. And you see, this is, then she puts out some candles, and over here where the water is, you can see the sun coming through, and there's an oculus over here as well, bringing the sun through. These are some of the instruments. This is our entrance to Shibalba and to the womb. This is the beautiful Michelle with her things. And what we were able to do was to bathe ourselves in these herbs and receive these sound healings with the conch shell, which opens portals as a sacred Mayan tool, and all of the different copal and the incenses and the chocolates and the honey. And everything is done in such a beautiful and sacred way. And then what happens is you can see we're in the cave and there's the softness, and she's grinding a cacao, and we're talking to the spirit, and we're being blessed and opened. We even follow along when she teaches us some of the sacred words when they mix the cacao. And here she's pouring some honey, and when she mixes it here, there's a special chant that we do. Excuse me. And this is the water from where we were sitting. So it's very small, very intimate, very beautiful. And I guess that's all we have of that right now. So I'm going to share with you now a video, and that's for, give me a second here. There we go. It. Ah. These little clips for you can start to feel it, start to sense. It's incredible. hacia mi corazón. Y canciones de colores aquí a mi corazón. Whoops. So that is that's a little taste of my ugly background. That was a little taste of honey because I love Michelle so much. And then she offers everybody, she's a chef, so she makes all different forms of cacao, and you can take home her powdered cacao, which she grinds in the traditional way and roast. You can take home the little chocolates with honey and all different ways of doing that. So the way that we begin our first day at the retreat is in this beautiful loving space. And then after we bathe in the cenote, we go out and we stopped in Playa del Carmen on our way home, and I treated everybody to a little treat, and we walked around a few of the stores, and I can't remember, I think we went to the Chocolate Museum, which is the Cacao Museum, which has the best organic cacao, which I have for you on the retreat. So what the cacao spirit has for you is quite profound. When we work with someone like Michelle, she reminds us that as you bring it into your body, it's now a part of you. It's a medicine that you're taking into your cells, and it's building your cells, and it becomes a part of you, and it's flowing in your veins. So let's take a moment, take a deep breath in. And bring that sacred spirit of the cave and the mother and the earth and this wonderful cacao is a seed, is a medicine. It's a delight, right? Is what chocolate's made from. And it opens the heart, it warms the heart, it heals the heart. And when we go into the heart of the mother, you can feel yourself there where we just were. We are fully surrounded with divine love. We are surrounded with unconditional love that cannot be swayed, moved, changed. It cannot be distorted. It cannot be poisoned. There's nothing to keep us from being held and loved and purified. And as you enter into the waters, the beautiful cacao spirit now in your veins, bringing ancient wisdom from the land, the people, bringing the spirit of the divine love in form. You feel your heart. It's starting to melt. There's no more hardness or walls. There's no fear. Enter this sacred, beautiful place and let the water spirits and the ancient codes in the water and the love of the mother embrace you, shower you with love, and gently relieve you of your burden. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for sharing space with me, and I will be here with you tomorrow. I believe I'm going to show up and channel some of the messengers that came through to us. So we had the bats, and I didn't see the bat information let me see if I can find it for you. It was quite profound. So, of course, my beloved lady who came, she, of course, had the being a messenger lady. She had Ted Andrews' book. She has all these books. She's already looked up bat in general. But I thought, you know, bat is a pretty, it's a powerful messenger because of its ability to be in the dark. It has sonar similar to a dolphin. And they were flying around very intentionally doing some kind of weaving with us. And I thought, well, we should all kind of know what's up, right? So let's see here. Here we go. Bat medicine represents rebirth, transition, and intuition. So I love that for our retreats because that's what this is. I keep telling you, I bring you into a cocoon and it's a sacred journey that every step of the way I've carefully curated, designed, and wrapped in love and tuned into the moment and reached out and expanded into what's coming through in that moment. And that intuition, that rebirth that you're going to have during this week is quite significant. And to start with that, and it says that bat medicine offers a gateway to a new life and purpose. So if you think about her, that's what she was really wanting to do, and she went home feeling ready for it. In facing the darkness before you, you find the light in rebirth. And one will not grow spiritually until the old parts are gone. This transition, then there was another one from the Native Americans that said it's bats are about initiation. And I told her that, and she said, this was such an initiation. And I said, I know, almost everything I do is, because that's kind of who I am. I'm designed to be that. So, but it said extrasensory hearing bat people are learning to sense their way through the dark, only to come out of the darkness reborn into a new person. In the darkness is the old self and the old habits and the old behaviors. And this is exactly why we go in a sacred way into the womb of the earth and use the waters, the sound, and all of the traditional elements, as well as the cacao and the bat to heal us. So thank you, everybody. I hope you'll join me for the retreat and for the summer school, and everybody waiting for the summer school. I am about to send it out. It's going to be awesome, and we're going to learn about how to access more of these messengers. Exactly what my client just said today. She knows is her next step, her next purpose is. She goes, okay, I'm not afraid of moving forward anymore. I understand our relationship. I've healed. And she said, I've washed away so much. She said, oh my gosh, you know, the water came through and talked to us. It came from the ocean. It came from the rain. It came from here and there and there and on and on and on. And so she said, I've just been so cleansed. And now I can, you know, to me, she looks centered. Now she can have more calm. Emotions going to come up? Of course. Good heavens. I don't want to think about going through what she's going through. So now you have a chance to remember that in whatever way is optimal for you, remember to start with love, start with wholeness, start with bathing yourself, start with going within. Say yes to the journey you're on today, tomorrow, for the next few months, or in the future. Whatever it is, allow yourself to be loved and supported, and tell yourself you're ready. Tell yourself you're ready for the next level of your intuitive growth. And join me for nonstop spiritual guidance. It's going to start in a couple of weeks. And we're going to have 90-minute classes with the maximum of sharing. So they're going to be shorter than normal. So if that's been an impediment for you, it's the dolphins are very clear about the vibration of it. And that gives us an opportunity to do a few things in a different way. So I'm going to begin to send you things soon when you sign up for that. And of course, we're going to do the Meet Your Spirit Council before we start. So I'll get you all of that. And I hope that you have a beautiful and blessed evening or day wherever you are. Namaste. See you tomorrow. Messages. Yay.